Hare Krishna, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine, Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyate Desatarine, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langate Girim Yat Krupatam Aham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarine Hare Krishna. Thanks for joining. As we change the timing, revert back to the same timing because sometimes it becomes late to start at 9. Thank you very much for understanding. So we'll see today verse number 24 of chapter 8, attaining the supreme. So Krishna is explaining. Now Krishna will explain about the different times at which we can pass from the body. This is for the yogis who are not doing ananya bhakti or who are not doing the pure bhakti, but who are doing mishra bhakti. So how though they can attain the different destinations. So let us see this verse. Yesterday's verse, Krishna told that at different times, I will tell you different times at which passing away from the world, yogi does or does not come back. So next three, four verses are explanation on that. So let's see this verse. Agnir Jyotir Aha Shukla
Agnirjyotir aha shukla
Shanmasa Uttarayana
Sanmasha uttarayanam
Tatra Prayata Gachanti
Tatra prayata gachanti
Brahma Brahma Vido Jana
Brahma Brahma vido janaha
Agni Jyotir Shukla
Agnirjyotir aha shukla
Shanmasa Uttarayana
Sanmasha uttarayanam
Tatra Prayata Gachanti
Tatra prayata gachanti
Brahma Brahma Vido Janaha.
Brahma Brahma vido janaha
Please chant.
Agnirjyotir aha shukla Sanmasa uttarayanam Tatra prayata gachanti Brahma Brahma vido janaha.
Okay. So translation and purport. Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from the world during influence of fiery God in the light at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of waxing moon, and during the 6 months when sun travels to north. Purport. When fire, light, day, and the fortnight of the moon are mentioned, it is to be understood that over all of them there are various presiding deities who make arrangements for the passage of the soul. At the time of death, the mind carries one on the path of new life. If one leaves the body at a time designated above, either accidentally or by arrangement, it is possible for him to attain impersonal Brahma Jyoti. Mystics who are advanced in yoga practice can arrange the time and place to leave the body. Others have no control. If by accident they leave at an auspicious moment, then they will not return to cycle of birth and death, but otherwise there is every possibility that they will have to return. However, for pure devotees in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning, whether he leaves the body at an auspicious moment or inauspicious moment by accident or by arrangement. So as we said, these explanations are not for the pure devotees of the Lord. Pure devotees of the Lord, there is a different path that Krishna will tell. But this path is for the yogis who are practicing Mishra Bhakti, Mishra with yoga or Mishra with Gyan. But this verse actually is explaining about Brahma Jyotir. So this is the verse which explain about the path through which if the soul travels, he will not return. So Krishna told that I will tell two paths of return and not return. So this verse explains about the no return. So if the soul goes through this path, he will not return. So yeah, like yesterday we were saying, there are presiding deities for every aspect of this material creation. So for fire, there is fire god. For light, day, Shukla Mas, Uttarayan. For everything, there is a presiding deity who takes care of the that particular area. So here Krishna is explaining at what time or at in which circumstances a person will not return. So there is fire or there is light or day or Shukla Paksha when the moon is increasing or when the sun is traveling to the north direction, Uttarayana. So sun travels to the north. So when the situations are one of these, then the soul will go to the Brahma, what's the Brahma Jyotir. So how this works? So like yesterday we were saying, like a truck going into factory, how it works. So similarly, if I want to meet, say, a very high position person in the factory or in the company, and I go to that company's building at the bottom, I have to first go to the maybe security check. That security person will tell me what to do. Then that person will tell, okay, you go to the reception counter. Then I will go to reception counter. Then reception counter, that someone will be there who will tell me that, okay, you want to meet this person or some whom you want to meet. Okay, you go to the third floor. The third floor, there will be one person, and that reception will take you go and meet this person. And this for that, then I go to third floor, I meet that person. That person will say, okay, so now I will take you inside. And then he takes me to one cabin. Outside the cabin, there is another one reception. Then he said, okay, you talk to this person, and then they will fix the appointment. So if we see in our normal life also, there is a chain of series of handovers basically. So handover from one place to the another place. Like that, we also travel in the different areas. Whatever you take travel by train or travel by flight, train, everything you see there is handover of the person. So similarly, when the soul uh, dies at this moment, then the presiding deities of Agni or day or light, they will take care of the soul and they will take the soul in their possession, and after certain time or some certain process, they will hand over to the next person. Like say day deity will hand over to the Shukla Paksha deity, and that will hand over to the Uttarayan deity, and they will take you to for finally to the Brahma Jyoti. So this is the process how the soul travels. It's a means we can very easily judge or we can easily relate how these things happen by our day-to-day life. And when we say spiritual things or material world, we have to understand that whatever happens in our daily life is the same way the things happen on the higher planets also. It's just that the bodily content is different and the consciousness is different and the opulence may be different. But the process, the way the things work is almost the same here or in the higher planets. So all the devtas who are in charge of the different areas, they take care of the travel of the soul. So if we see Bhishma Dev, when he was hit by the arrows, Arjuna, and he was on the deathbed of the arrows, he didn't immediately die, right? Because he had the boon of Icha Marat, so he can die when he wants. So in that, we see Bhishma Dev waited for Uttarayan period to start. So he was the fight happened in the Dakshinayana period, and he waited for the current period to come, so that he can go through the ultimate destination. Of course, Bhishmadev was the pure devotee. He is one of the Mahajans, so he is the pure devotee of the Lord. So it does not depend. He does not depend on the Uttarayan travel. And of course, all the soldiers and all the fighters who died on the field of or the war of Kurukshetra, they all went to Brahmajyoti. Their liberation was fixed because Krishna was there. But Bhishmadev's case, we see that he waited for Uttarayan. So he followed the Shastra also, though he was pure devotee, but he showed by his example the Shastra, the way to follow the Shastra. So this is how the soul, actually, when we die and the soul is released from this body, how the soul travels to the different places. So there is a fixed process and Jumma sequence in which the things will be taken care. So we can see that uh, like this, the say city of Tokyo, so this universe is also very well managed and by the process, and everybody is doing their duties, everybody is into that service, and they're doing that service with full honesty and responsibility. So sorry, uh, I don't know the names of all the uh, gods who are in charge of this, say fire or light or day or Shukla Paksha or Uttarayan, because Krishna does not explain it here. So one more interesting thing is this path of no return. Krishna has nowhere mentioned about the um, final rites are performed or not performed. There's no explanation about that. It's just that if by sometimes it happens nowadays, like or many times it happens that by accident somebody passes away and the soul is released in say Uttarayan period. So, and sometimes it happens that the final rites are not done correctly. But if that is the Uttarayan period, then Krishna says that the duty of the Uttarayan will take you uh, to, to the next destination. So Krishna has not mentioned anything about the final rites, how they should be done, or what process is there. That may be specified in the other Shastra or Puranas, but here Krishna is not explaining. So that means whatever the situation at the time we die and the soul comes out of the body, that deity will take care of the soul irrespective of the rites or the final rituals done for the body, because ultimately the higher planets and this process is related to the soul, not the body. And when we die, the soul is already out of the body. So the next steps can easily take care. And whatever rituals we do are, of course, for the support of the soul who is traveling. So we can see how it happens. It happens through the mantras. So mantras have all the power. And through the mantras and through the offerings that reaches to the particular god or whatever we that soul is uh, destined or desires, right? So all this system is very well designed and uh, works. The Ashra Prabhupada mentions the last line, for the pure devotees who are doing only bhakti without any without any yoga mix like jnana or karma or ashtanga. If they are doing the pure bhakti and surrendering, then for them, they don't have to worry about all these timings when they die. We can see in the case of Ajamil, when he died, the Vishnu Dutas directly came to take him. He didn't go through all this process. He just chanted the name of Narayan offenselessly, and Vishnu Dutas came. Right? So uh, that is a different path where the Vishnu Dutas directly come. So for pure devotees, it is the path. Now we see Karma Yogi, Jnana Yogi, Ashtanga Yogi. For them, these details are there. Then their question may come like, what happens with the people who are doing the bad activities, who are not doing any yoga? So for them, they are already on the path of the hell. So they are going downwards, right? They are not going upwards. And this path is for the upward journey. That means the higher birth, higher destination. So when you are not following the Shastra, you are not following the rules, you are not doing the sinful activities, you are bound to go downwards. So for them, their explanation is not there because they have to go downwards and take their pains there and then come back to the earth. But for the higher destinations, this explanation is there. So today's destination was no return, Brahma Jyoti. So Krishna will explain. Tomorrow's verse we will see how who how the yogis come back, or not how the yogis come back. Passing at what time the yogis may come back. That we'll see tomorrow. Hare Krishna. So any comments or questions? Anybody knows anything more about these travels and all, then please share.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
You said that whoever was there in the battlefield, they got mukti, like they got into the Brahma Jyoti. So Brahma Jyoti is mukti or what it is? Because from Brahma Jyoti, many times it happens that they don't get any destination, so they fall down again.
The possibility is there from the Brahma Jyoti, but Brahma Jyoti is like a place where there is no material miseries. Actually, it means liberation means what? Liberation means you get free from all the material miseries that are there in this material world. So when you go to Brahma Jyoti, you don't have the material miseries, mainly this birth, death, old age, and disease. Of course, in Brahma Jyoti, there are no relationships. Right? So some souls, like Bhanu Maharaj told us that Brahma Jyoti, some yogis aim for Brahma Jyoti, like the Jnana Yogi. Their goal is that to merge into the Brahma Jyoti. So they go there. But say Ashtanga Yogi, he may do some bhakti part. So he may come back from Brahma Jyoti if he at the end desires to go into Brahma Jyoti, but because of his bhakti part, he may come back and then try again. So it depends on how our practice of bhakti is and how we are wanted to understand the Supreme Lord. Depending on that, we will reach or will come back.
So Prabhuji, if someone get the spiritual body after death, so even that is called as mukti or what it is like?
So mukti means, what I mean is mukti from this material world. So Brahma Jyoti is mukti from the material world, right? So from that angle, it is a mukti. But when we go back to say spiritual world, is of course we don't expect, devotees don't expect only liberation. So when we say liberation from the material miseries, we want to have relationship with the Supreme Lord. So that is of course a different destination in the spiritual world. And what today we are discussing is just till the Brahma Jyoti. There's no realization of say Paramatma or beyond that Bhagavad. So that's not there. So when there is realization or at least desire to have realization of Bhagavad, then the destination is of course above the Brahma Jyoti.
Okay, understood. I got confused. Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarification. Hare Krishna.
Mama.
Okay, thank you very much for joining. Let's continue at 9:30. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.